Hello everyone, welcome back to the complete mobile app development tutorial series using Google Flutter for beginners by TechTechTuts. This is the part 10 of this video tutorial series, and the purpose of this video tutorial is to introduce you the stateless and stateful widgets and how they can be used and what are the differences between them. So without a further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So first of all, let's talk about stateless widgets. Although in all the previous video tutorial until the last video tutorial, we have learned only to use stateless widgets by extending them with a stateless widget class. So what actually is a stateless widget? First of all, that stateless widgets are created by using a build method which is included inside its parent. So in this example, if you look at this stateless widget class, we are extending over class from this stateless widget. So this is a parent class stateless widgets, and this parent class contains a build method which is executed whenever you run this app by using this run app and then by calling this my app. So whether you are using this stateless widget class or you are using one of these methods which we have discussed in previous video tutorial, you are creating stateless widgets. So stateless widgets are used just for informational purpose, like a static website which does not contain any dynamic information, like not fetching data from databases or not fetching information, or even if it's fetching, it only fetch one time, then it throws it on the screen, and every time when you refresh your screen, that widget disposed itself and it recreated from the scratch. So it contained the previous information when it was created first time. So the stateless widget does not contain persistent data, or you can say that does not contain a persistent data which we can update. But if in some situations when we need to update information at runtime, or we want users to interact with our application, like if you are creating a login page or sign up page, for that you need to add text boxes, images and buttons, and the user need to interact with this application. So for that, stateless widgets are useless. For this purpose, you need the stateful widgets. So stateful widgets is another class which is used to create stateful widgets. So basically, stateful widgets are composed of two classes. One is called stateful widget class and one is extended from the state itself. In the stateful widget, we contain another method which is called create state method. In stateless widgets, we do not have a create state function, or we don't need to override. We only have build method. So that is the major difference between stateless and stateful widgets. Furthermore, stateless widgets, as I have said earlier, that they dispose itself when you refresh your page and then they are recreated. On the other hand, if you look at stateful widgets, they maintain their functionality and their data even you refresh it for multiple times. So let me give you a quick example of using stateful widgets, then you will understand better that what are the differences between stateless and stateful widgets. By the way, this layout you can find on my GitHub guest account, and the link you will find in the video description. In any of my previous video tutorials, you can find inside the description, or you might find it under the comment section as a sticky comment. So you can, if you need this layout code, you can find it over there. So let me clean this code. I will simply clean it, and then I will create my stateful app. So I will name it stateful app. So now I need to create a class, my stateful app, which extends from stateful widget. Then this stateful widget only contain one method which I need to override, and that is called create state, and then this function will call over state class. So my stateful app. So if you see closely, I have put an underscore in the start name. So that makes this class as a private, only available within this library. You cannot access it outside of this library. So this is what we have created, create state and then my stateful app. So I need to create this my stateful app class. So I will say class underscore my stateful app extends state, which will return a generic my state app. That's it. So now this class contain an override build method. So you can write widget build context and then simply return material app. So that's it. We have successfully created our first stateful widget. So this my stateful app will also be a data type. So I have to mention here stateful app create state, and then we have this, and it is saying that my state dot create state isn't a valid override of stateful widget create state. Why is it create state? The name my state app isn't a type, so it cannot be used as the argument. Line number 8, dynamic doesn't extend stateful widget. So it's asking me to add this type as well here. So I have already added it, and this class is now overridden, and now I can create here home. And let's start with scaffold. Inside scaffold we have app bar and app bar have a title which is a text. So stateful widget example, and then it also contain a body. This is scaffold body, and inside body I will simply say in the center child text stateful widget example. So let's see. Right now it is saying returning create state. That is fine, hide it. So let me run it and see if it shows any error. So inside console my state app, I think I made a mistake. I should say my stateful app here. So after that this error will be gone. So that was the mistake. Okay, now run it. So there you go. We have successfully created our stateful widget, and we have learned how to create stateful widget in Flutter. So now you might ask, what is the difference here? You are creating even 2 more classes and to create one widget, and this widget is doing same as the stateless widget is doing. So what is the difference? Let me give you the difference now. Inside our state class extended from my state app, we can create dynamic variables, we can create functions which can update our states, we can have multiple states which can be changed at runtime. For example, let me show you a quick example of a counter app, which is by default an app created by the Flutter. When you use Flutter create project, a default app is created. So same thing like I will create here. So first of all, I will create an int variable here and make it private and call it counter is equal to 0. So now this int counter is 0. Now I will create a function here, or I can directly create a function inside the button as well. So let me create a function, let me name it void update counter, and what it will return, it will simply update the state. So set state, and then this will be a callback function, and here I will simply do counter plus plus. Sorry, not count plus plus, counter plus plus. So that is how we can create this, update the state, and we change the state like this. Now how to use it? So let me display this counter variable somewhere here in the body. So inside this child, now I'm going to use a column. So why I'm going to use column? Because I need to add a text, and inside text I will display counter, and the second will be a raised button. So this raised button is another widget which is used to display a button, default button, and it have a property of child where you put a text widget and click me. You can name it anything, you can say anything in it, and then it must have another property of parameter which is on pressed. So when you pressed it, what will happen? It will run a function, and this function will call update, and I think I misspelled the update, so I will call it update counter. So let me format it, and I think this one is okay, sorry, my mistake, I didn't add children widget, and I will paste it here. Now I think it's fine. So now we have created a button. So now let me run it. Now we have a click me button here, and then there is a 0 shown. Now if I click me this button, you see the counter is increasing. So same, I can create another function which will decrease the counter. So I will say decrease counter, and then set state underscore counter minus minus. So it will reduce counter minus minus. So how to call it? We will now put this raise button inside a row. Why? Inside row I will add children widget, and I will create two buttons here, and I will say it plus, and I will say it minus, and then I will call decrease counter. So when we click the minus, it will decrease the counter, and when we click the plus, it will increase the counter. So it is on the left side. So this row will have a main access alignment, main access alignment dot center. So after that, these buttons will be in center. So let me center the whole context inside the middle of the screen. So I will use main access, sorry, not here, yeah, main access alignment colon main access alignment dot center. So this is what it will do. It will center line the both buttons and the text in the middle of the screen. And now if I click plus, it will increase the counter, and when I click the minus, it will decrease the counter. And now this functionality we cannot achieve using stateless widgets. So stateless widgets are just used to display the information. Rest we have to do if we need to interact with the user, like we need to create a registration screen, login screen, or dynamic content on the screen which updates by clicking on button or mouse hovering. So for that we use stateful widgets. So guys, this is it. This was the video lecture for today, and thank you very much for watching this video tutorial till the end. I hope you liked the tutorial, and if you are interested to learn more about Google Flutter, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our TechTechTuts YouTube channel. With that being said, I'm your host on this channel, signing off. Take care and goodbye.